So this is my solution. Take a piece of this hard plastic cutting board. I've got plenty of it to work with, but I had one that I'd routed the edges on it, so it's kind of rounded, so that gives me a place to fill it with plastic. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a couple of small screws, one here and one here, these little tiny screws. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat this up. I'm either going to heat it or just set it on fire and let it drip and fill all this in after I put the 2 screws in. And then I'll use this one. I think what I'm going to do is just cut this flat piece out and then heat this, heat that. I'm not saying this is how you fix a kayak, but yeah, you got a kayak with a hole in it. I guess this is what you do. Well, this is what I do. See you in a bit. I just figured out that if I use my screwdriver, the smooth part of my screwdriver, and I do this, it kind of blends the 2 plastics together. So I'm going to do that and seal it all the way around. I probably need another piece for here because this one's not going to be big enough. But actually, I accidentally cut it at an angle, which means it's actually going to wrap around pretty good. I don't know. Looks like it's working. So let me finish this, seal it up. I'm going to seal it up, and then I'll add more to it and shape it. It seems to be working the way I'm doing it. So yeah, I'm probably going to do another piece over the top that comes all the way up to here. Blend it in as much as I can. Yeah, it seems to be. I mean, that's pretty solid, and this is about as thick as this is, so not pretty, but as long as it stops the water. Alright, here's the latest part to my path. Actually, what I started doing was, heating this up. I mean, it looked like this. So what I was doing was heating this up and then rubbing it with the block of this. And it actually smoothed it out really good. But then I took this piece here, and I'm just going to make like a little, I don't know, a little patch here. So what I'm doing is I'm heating underneath here until both surfaces are hot and melting together. See, maybe, I don't know if you can see it, but this is melted on there pretty good. So what I did, I kind of tapered this so that it doesn't have such a rough edge there. So I'm going to heat this onto here and wrap it down over. It's not going to look like the prettiest patch, but I should have cut this piece a little longer so I can go over this and give it an extra thickness, because this is actually pretty thick here. This is actually 2 layers of plastic. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to melt it again and again with that little block. This little block. I'm using this to shape it, because this is really, really bad. This over here looked like this. And it looks pretty good now. Because I'm going to wrap plastic so it covers all these screws. So, I mean, it's already sealed. It's ugly, but it's already sealed. So this is what I'm doing here. I think I'm going to do one side and then I'll do the other side. I don't know. Or either that, I'll just work my way back. But you can see here what I did is I melted the tip just to get it to hold in place. And it actually melted that far in. See, it's already laying down right there. There's about 3 or 4 inches of that point are already stuck to the kayak. Just by melting the plastic to the plastic. And I'm not using super high heat. I'm just using enough to where I have to hold it there for a minute or 2 before it actually starts to shape or stick. So that's where I'm at. This is as far as I got, but I've got to go because I got to go build a wooden fence in my daughter's house. So yeah, this is as far as I got. So what I think I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to shape all this. I wet it to cool, kind of make it cool down a little quicker. But yeah, that looks like it's gonna be a pretty good patch. What I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna take another piece and tuck it under here, just to wrap it down on this to cover this up. Yeah, it'll be all right. It's gonna look a little weird along this edge, but yeah, that'll look all right. Because I mean, it's already patched. This is just an extra sheet, like to protect it and make it look a little nicer. Because I'm not going to do all this to it. What's happening is as I'm melting it and it grabs and it just lifts back up. It did that. It looks like a flesh wound. But yeah, see, so this is actually extra patch over. There was just scratches here, and I was just covering them. And then this patch is all sealed, so this will go over that. So I'll be alright. Gotta pick up my tools. Alright. That's how I did it. I mean, there's hundreds of ways you can patch plastic. I mean, just use your imagination. Bye. Alright, what I'm doing here is, see what I did here? I took a piece of this and wrapped it around, and when it got to here, I just heated it enough and then ripped it off. So what I'm going to do is, on the other side, I'm going to start from here, line it up with the other one, and then at the end I'm going to take a piece that's going to go across the top and over the back and cover this last screw here. So basically, this is what I'm going to do. Sorry, I've got this thing on a tripod and I'm trying to use it like a freehand camera. So I'm going to put this here, wrap it around the back, and then I'll put another small piece over the top. Piece started here. So I've got to really heat up the surface over here. And this. And this is like really thick. It's like 3 layers of plastic in there on top of a cutting board. Looks like it's holding. Yeah, that's fine. I'm sorry. I want it to mount to this one first, and then I'll heat up underneath. And it should mold to this one a lot easier than this one because it's the same plastic. sticking. What I do is I push it against the other one and pull it, and if it makes little strings, then you know they're sticking together. Perfect. Ooh. Yeah, it's sticking way over here now. Excellent. I've only got two hands. I can't bring the camera over here to show you what it's doing. I guess I could. Yeah. I mean, it's just when you stick something to something else and they connect together and you pull it off like glue. That's basically what the plastic is doing, one to the other. And it doesn't have to connect all of it, just as long as some parts of it are connecting together. That's really all you need. Because I'm going to mold the outside ends together anyway. Oh yeah, that's sticking good. Yep, that's doing real good. Like I said, it's an ugly patch, but as long as it works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat this up to where I can quit sticking, and then I'm going to pull it off so that this one wraps around and then this one wraps over it. I guess I should have a camera on this side, but whoa. My chair sank in the hole. I'll just heat all this and smooth it with my block. Oh yeah. It's like if you had a thick piece of chewing gum and you're smearing it, that's what it looks like. Maybe I referenced that because it's red. Looks alright. Now I gotta heat this and flatten it, and then meld it to the kayak. The other side's a little hot too. I'm getting the heat underneath. Because it's hard to heat this up through here. You gotta really heat this up to make it heat the other part. So I've got a little gap there where I can. Actually, it looks like it's holding a little. The hole is only about this big, but I figured I'd just reinforce the hole back in. You know, somebody in the future who's going to own this is probably going to drag it. Oh, like when I go to a kayak launch and I see people dragging their kayaks across the pavement and the rocks, I'm just like, oh my God. It irks my bananas. That'll work. Alright, I need another piece of plastic. I thought I had another one over here. Yep, there it is. Voila. So this is the one that's going to go in here. But filling the little gaps. Don't just melt it and drop it in there. You gotta kind of twist it and get the pieces to stick together or melt together. Those scissors. These are metal shears and they don't cut worth a poop. Let's see. I want this to go from here to there. Do a little extra. Cut this curved edge off. Actually, I don't even need it that way. What I'm going to do for the part down here, let's see. Round it off. See, this thing's got a rough surface, kind of like the kayak, and then it's got a smooth surface. I'm putting the smooth surface out. I don't know why, I just decided to do it that way. All right. From there. Good. All right. Keep the crap out of this. Get it? Excuse me. Ow. Sticking good. Wind. There's a cold breeze coming from behind me. See what's going on. See how the plastic's sticking together? Right? Yep, it's sticking real good. So what I did was, after I finished this, actually I just did it again. You can see it dripping right there. I went over it with semi-gloss clear, just so that it'll fill in all the little bitty spaces in there. Take the drips off. Rub it in, that way I guess if there's a little hole, it'll get inside the hole. That's the second coat I put on it. Doesn't need it, but doesn't hurt it. Yeah, that bottom is 3 times thicker than the original. Man, that's already drying. I just sprayed that on there. It's crazy. Alright, that's just something extra I did on it. So, right here we're going to jump to me making a hard hatch cover. Set a piece of plastic, cut the bungee exactly the size you need it, and then we're going to overlap it by 1 inch or so. Put 3 little zip ties. Leave the middle zip tie so you have something to lift your hatch cover with. Right here I'm going to stretch it over the top. Measure 2 fingers out. That's just what I did. Mark it, cut it, and it'll all be flipped over. Not flipped over, but the edges will be flipped over and connected with contact cement. That's what it's going to look like when it's finished. And that's the soft cover I moved over to the front, and here we go. Okay, as you saw in the slideshow, I cut a piece of plastic in the size of the hole. This is my first cover. This is actually just a soft cover. So now I'm making a hard cover. I did the same procedures. I put the plastic, put the vinyl. I cut the bungee exactly the size of the hole, and then I overlapped it by, I guess, 1.5 inches. And I put 3 little zip ties on it. One of the zip ties I made a little hole and ran it through, because that's the one that I'm going to use for taking it on and off. The plastic is just laying underneath this. After this dries, it's called contact cement. It's this Weldwood contact cement. It works on pretty much everything. I'm going to fold all this over. I'm going to fold all of this over to where it's all stuck, and all of this is stuck on the inside. Make sure you get a lot of glue on the bungee itself so that it doesn't move from where you put it. I made that one and I didn't do that, and it's got these large gaps of air in here, so the bungee tends to slip up and it's really hard to put on. I'm going to rebuild that one too. So like I said, this is a soft cover, but I'm making one with a hard cover. I took the piece of plastic out of a plastic top that I had. I'm going to have to cut another one from one of those. So anyway, I'm going to fold all this over, and I'm going to pull it off, take the plastic out, set it back, and then put the plastic back on it. Basically, we're building this thing inside out. So after I put the plastic on here, I've actually put contact cement all in here too, just so it has an extra coating of it. I used my heat gun a little bit to help make it dry faster. So this is how my procedures for making a vinyl hatch cover for your kayak, so you don't have to go spend $50 there, $50. That's a little cheapy one I made. So another $50 here, and then another $100 there. I mean, that's almost the price of another kayak, just for little covers. So, hope this helps. Keep watching, and I'll show you the end result here in a minute. I'm going to try something a little different than what I did on this one and that one. I'm going to take my scissors, and I want to cut little slits in here. I mean, this is all going to be underneath, so it's not like it's going to hurt the water resistance or whatever, waterproofing. So, if it doesn't work, I'll make another one. I'm already redoing a couple of the ones I've done, so. You notice I'm leaving a little space there. And the purpose of that is so that it has the overlap. Because like I said, I'm making this thing inside out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one, and then I'm going to overlap them onto each other. See if that'll take some of the wrinkles out of it. We'll see here in a minute. Yeah, it seems to be working okay. So, yeah. I left this one flipped up so that when I get to this one I can tuck it under, just for uniformity. It's just a kayak cover, hatch cover. It doesn't have to be real pretty. I might cut some of this little excess off of here too. It's not really necessary. Alright, I'll put this one here. Oops. And then put that one over the top. It's kind of ugly, but like I said, there's going to be that piece of plastic that's under here is going to get stuck onto here. So, there you go. Yeah, I think I'm going to cut these little edges off of here. Yeah. Cool. Cool. I'm doing this with one hand because with the other hand I'm holding the camera. So. Yeah. Like I said, this is going to be a hard cover, so it's going to have a hard plastic surface on it, so you don't have to worry about stretching it to make it fit. Yep. I'm going to make sure all of this is stuck to the bungee underneath. You don't want that thing moving around because it'll be a pain to put this together when the bungee's not holding right. I mean, it looks kind of ugly right now, but like I said, when I put this one on the top, it didn't look so bad. Next step coming. So I pulled it off, and there's the plastic that was underneath. I'm gonna coat it. I'm gonna rough it up, coat it with contact cement. I'm also gonna coat this, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set it back on here. I'm gonna reverse it and then set it back on here. No. Yeah. After I glue it, I'll set it back on there so that it conforms to where it needs to be. Okay, I've got the hard plastic put onto the, man, that's, as soon as you set that down, that thing sticks. Now the trick is, I'm going to take it off, flip it over, snap it in place, so that when it dries completely, it's going to be the shape it's supposed to be. Man, that went on easy compared to when I do the soft one. Alright. There is a hard plastic hatch cover. And what's nice is, when you put these on, they don't move around that easily. I guess because the plastic's sliding on the plastic. That's another thing. Make sure you keep your contact cement closed. Alright. And I left this little bungee on here, and the whole purpose of that is so you can pull it off. Now I'll stick this one on here. You can see the difference of how, oh shoot. The difference of how it goes on. Let's jump out of here. I guess it went on alright. Maybe I'll leave this one soft so when you're sitting here it doesn't bother your legs. I'm taking these things off because they're not going to be necessary. But I made my own scupper plugs too. Alright, well, there you go. DIY hard hatch cover made of vinyl. If you like my videos, you like what I do, throw me a comment, subscribe, send me $1. Thanks for watching.